Hey, what's up? Honestly, I don't have much to talk about. This is an emergency video. For context, the emergency video is when I have a video in play. I have a video that's meant to upload today, but it's taking too long to upload. And to keep that day requirement stuff for the project, I just record a video to upload in place of the video that I wanted, the original video I wanted to upload. So this is the emergency video because there's about 11 minutes, if my math is correct. Left. I honestly don't have anything to talk about. I think I addressed a good chunk of stuff in the original video, so I don't know if I want to. I'm trying to take stuff from that. But I think I think something I'm thinking about more is more so performance-wise, how I'm performing in general. I was thinking about this, I think yesterday and today as well. I think I've become very complacent in this idea that I'm doing well by some vague metric. Like I've done some cool stuff. I'm just gonna list them off because it makes me feel better and it gives the idea. Like TED Talk, that was a cool thing. National Conference of Undergraduate Research election, blah blah blah, stuff go on. But I think the idea is I've done well. I think I take comfort in that. I think there's nothing wrong in taking comfort in that. But I think something that's happens too often is I find myself doing these stuff, right? And it's like, okay, the title alone gives me comfort, but how well did I perform in each of these stuff? And I think that's something I have to look more into. I think that kind of combats the complacency I find in these achievements, if you will. I think it's important. I think even like in some clubs, I was thinking like Tech for Good. Like I do stuff, I still help, but am I helping to the best of my ability? I think I can confidently say no. With NSB, I can also say the same thing. Like with a lot of these organizations, I am performing okay in my opinion, but I'm not doing the best of my ability. I'm not like I don't say I don't go above and beyond because then it's not like there's times when I've said, okay, I couldn't do this in my head, but why didn't I say that I couldn't do this in my head? There's times when I've been given something I think I did pretty well, or I did something that wasn't expected and did pretty well, but I don't think that's something I'm doing consistently in my metric, right? I think there's in my head I have to be very focused on that personal metric because it's easy for myself to like say, okay, let me put myself on this vague metric of expectations of people around me, and I can just feel comfortable in that, right? Like if I just do that, I can coast. Like I have a very good freshman year, did a lot of great stuff. I can really coast for the rest of the year and say like, very good year. But I think personally, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. And I think that's something I really have to kind of work internally on, just like trying to disregard that external metric and just focusing internally on like what's important to me. I know like with my TED Talk, it's cool that I've done a TED Talk. I even got someone who reached out to me like, well, thank you, did a TED Talk, how do you do that? But then I ended up when I did that TED Talk, there was a slide that I made a mistake with. Like, okay, not when I was making like when I was presenting, like there's a slide that I forgot to present. There was times when I was stuttering, there's times when I forgot some of the stuff I wanted to say. And that means like I knew that that was not an A plus Z plus TED Talk, that was like B or would I give it a C? I think maybe a C would even be like if I got a C for that TED Talk, I would understand. I think that's something I really have to. I don't know. I just have to be more critical of, and just not even like in a negative connotation or a negative sense, but I just like don't because I think part of me is very lazy. I think it's easy for me to find that complacency, but I think if I want to get to the point B I want to get to from the point A that I am right now, I can't stay in this fluff that is my complacency. I feel like a lot of this was kind of fluff, just to keep on saying the same thing, that I have to focus on the internal metric. I think that's just my thoughts for this emergency video. But besides, I have nothing else to say, so have a great day.